concerns? Anything good in the rate department?
So what I put on everyone's table is the 7 metrics to pay attention to this year, okay? And I feel optimistic about this year, okay? First good thing that you all need to pay attention to, and I left space for those here to write little notes if it brings up any ideas. You've got the end of January through the 1st of May is when the highest number of people apply for purchase mortgages, which means they're coming to all of you the next 4.5 months with their New Year's resolution to move forward with their purchase. Okay, so I like to I feel like a lot of us forget there's like an ebb and flow about our industry. We're like a clothing industry. We've got a plan for the next season ahead, right? Well, right now is when you need to be hitting phones hard, emails hard, getting in front of people, because this next 4.5 months is what makes your year, okay? Maybe the transactions don't happen the next 4.5 months, but end of the year, a lot of my transactions happen because of people applying in January, February, March, okay? So that's my big headline, like right out of the gate. If you're not thinking that way, change, do whatever you need to, prune back some of the other things that you got going on and focus on people, sphere. What do I need to do differently than last year that didn't work so well? Where do I put my time and money? Okay.
Real quick, comment springboarding off of that. As you guys are thinking about all the initiatives that you want to incorporate in 2024, if you in the next 4.5 months, you do your systems, your processes, your customer service, you do all of those, you're going to have a lopsided year, because when you finally implement your lead generation strategies, right, May, June, July, you don't reap that harvest. That fruit doesn't happen until months after that. So highly recommend that the next 4.5 months, as you're figuring out what to implement first in your business, you focus on anything that's going to generate business, and you get that going as early as humanly possible in the year. So like Jeff said, you can reap that, in the coming months.
And it definitely feels like what's nice about this is it felt like November, December, like there was more positivity on the buyers fund, people reaching out to me that were circling back with those interest rates falling, that you're already getting that momentum that you should be able to seize upon and really make the most of. So love the lead gen. Yeah. Second, mortgage rates will be falling.
Woo!
Okay, right? So, unless something crazy happens, we've got an election year, which is number 7 on the list. Any administration is going to want to see lower rates. It's going to help the economy overall. The expectation that we're done raising rates, and we're now looking at cutting. Last time I was here, the reminder is where interest rates are at right now with the Federal Reserve is still putting the foot on the brakes with the economy, okay? The expectation with nearly every economist now is they're going to go into more cruise control. Cruise control means they actually lower rates, okay? That's more of a cruise control. It's not putting foot on the gas to try to pump new gas into the economy, but they are trying to keep things moving steady and help with that inflation piece, which their goal is always, as a Fed, 2 things, jobs and inflation. That's what they're always trying to monitor and control, and that's all they do with the interest rate. So if we have inflation go out of control for some reason, then you would expect rates to not fall as we're expecting. Reminder of what we're gonna see. We're in the mid-6s right now, okay, for conforming rates, maybe a little bit higher on jumbo. The expectation by end of the year would be high 5s, okay? If we get high 5s sooner than expected and it holds for longer, you can start to see what I've been hearing on podcasts, whatnot. Current rates across the nation are 4 million home sales. Existing home sales is what we're tracking on a yearly basis, okay? The expectation, if we get into the high 5s for a longer period of time, you're gonna get into 4.6 million to 4.7 million transactions, okay? So that's 10 to 15% more than we're charting right now, okay? What does that mean for Santa Barbara? Who knows? But take 15% more, maybe we're getting 115 to 120 home sales a month instead of 100-ish or just below, which we'd all love to see that, right? So, but that's going to require rates getting into the high 5%. the expectation right now, if you go to one of the other numbers, is listings for sales, right? So are we seeing that change, Daniel? What do we feel? I mean, are people just gonna sell right now at 6.5% option? You're gonna go from 3 to 6.5. I mean, you all are having those conversations before they come to me. It's getting better. Yeah, and the expectation is you get into the high fives, you'll start to break loose some of those people that you're sitting going, we really need that extra bedroom. High fives, it feels better, and maybe we'll get into the high fours at some point given the trend. So